Wow. What's happening, everybody? Yes, sir. We back. Welcome to Monday. Yes, sir. We in the building. Hi for everybody that's logging in for the first time. Welcome to Let's Talk with Stanley Doucette. I am he, your host, and today we have another amazing podcast. I'm riding solo today. Don't worry, our guests are coming and did some things, but oh yeah, we riding solo today, but today I actually want to have a little fun. I know last week we had some powerful and deep discussions about some things, but today I actually want to talk about you. I want to release some things off of you and give you some, a couple things that you can take a look at and say, I can do that. I can make those things happen. How are we going to do that? Well, we're going to do that today. So before I get into it, let's get into, as I like to say, our commercials. Go to all of the social media platforms: LinkedIn, Facebook, X. What's the other ones? Instagram, as well as our YouTube channel. Go check out our YouTube channel. You'll see me, guys. I'll be making some crazy faces. I'll be doing some silly things, but I'm doing that because I'm having fun about being here with you guys. On top of all of that, not only am I having fun, for all of the individuals that have been with me since day one and riding hard with me, I can't thank you guys enough. Thank you, thank you, thank you. There are people in different parts of the world that's outside of America that have been riding with me hard as well. Thank you to all of my international family. Thank you for all of the individuals that are here in America that's riding with me. Thank you. I truly, truly appreciate you guys. For those that's listening probably for the first time, I want to say thank you and welcome. Welcome to Let's Talk. We know anything may come out of my mouth. My guests are absolutely amazing from different walks and different places around the country, around the world. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you to every single person that's out there and that's with me. So I just wanted to share that with you guys and just say thank you. I'm humbled and I'm grateful for you guys to be there with me. If you guys make sure you go there, like, share, subscribe, donate. Donate. It's all going right back into the podcast. So you can go to Let's Talk with StanleyDoucette.com. Go to the middle of the page. You got a donate button. You can donate. It doesn't matter if it's $4 or $44. It will go back to the podcast, and it helped me with even more guests and more special activities that we're going to continue to do down the line. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Now let's get into this topic. Now this is of course on the flyer and all of the promotional material is not this long, but it's actually 8 ways. How did I write it out? 8 ways to live your life that makes you feel free. 8 ways to feel free. That's what I really should have named it. But anyway, so let me get number one. Number one on those 8 ways. Number one is love and accept yourself. Whew, that speaks volume. I've been fortunate enough to receive calls from different people and converse with different people in all walks of life. Some of the higher echelon and some people that's working and living from paycheck to paycheck. So it doesn't matter where you are, but I've received a lot of those calls and people just not loving themselves anymore for whatever the reason is. They're not accepting some of the things that they have. Some things we are born with, all right? I can't help that I was born with, I don't know, a sixth finger, right? I can't help that. That's just what I was born with. And they did some medical procedure to remove the sixth finger, but I have evidence of it. And some people don't like that. Some people may take that as something that it was them or their issue. No, accept who you are. Love on you. Just because you have a sixth finger, that doesn't mean something is wrong with you or something happened. It's just it is what it is. So accept you, love on you. In my opinion, the first person that loves you is God, then it has to be you. You have to love yourself. You must love you. You are everything and everything to yourself. Be happy, be free, be excited, be all of those things because you're that one. It doesn't matter what everybody else say. This only your life. Even I've heard this, even if you're a twin or a triplet, and a lot of people may say, "Oh, I'm a twin, I'm a triplet, I'm a this, I'm a that." Oh, that sounds great and that's wonderful, that's beautiful, love it. That's cool. And they say, "Well, I was born by myself." And some people say, "Well, if you're a twin, you weren't." Yeah, actually, you were. There was only one child that came through the birth canal at a time. That you're only one child that came through the birth canal at a time. So you were born by yourself. Now, in the womb, you may have had company, but you were born by yourself, right? So love you. This is your life. Love you. Accept you. You may not be the smartest, or you may be the absolute smartest. I've heard this recently, and this is kind of understanding and true, but it's powerful. Think of this, ladies and gentlemen. Some people say it's a curse to be beautiful. Yeah, it's a curse to be a beautiful person. Some people are born a little bit more beautiful than others, and it is what it is. But I've heard men and women say it's sometimes a curse to be beautiful or handsome, from the guy's standpoint. But it's a curse because you walk down the street, somebody's whistling at you or speaking to you or talking to you, or you can't eat your food in peace because somebody want to get your phone number. You can't go somewhere, somebody always trying to get at you. And then if you react from a female standpoint and be like, "No, I'm good," or you don't have the most favorable space during that time, that's favorable energy, and just share with somebody, "No, thank you, but I appreciate you." Then they start calling you all kind of names, and, "Oh, you just stuck up." Well, have you ever considered that individual may have just having a bad day, or they may be tired, right? They're just, you know what? I've had 17 people come up to me in the last 18 minutes, and I'm just trying to eat my food. And then some people just may be, just go that hard. They going that hard, like, "Give me your number, or give me Instagram, or give me your Facebook. Like, let me get at you." And no, I'm sorry, thank you, but I'm not here for that. I appreciate it. And they're looking at you like, "Well, what do you mean?" No, so you got to look at that on the opposite side. A guy, females may do the same thing or may try to get at them. And if you say no, then they start telling you you're this, you're that, they're calling your names, you may be this, you may, it's all of those other things. If they say no, sometimes they just may like, "I just wanted to have a nice meal and sit down at the bar or sit down at a table and just take a deep breath." Sometimes they can't do that, right? So it doesn't matter what people say. They'll say it's a curse to be beautiful. Then other people say it's a curse to be ugly. Right? It's a curse to be ugly. Nobody look at you if you're in a circle with girls, right? And there's four girls, and you're the ugly one in a circle, and they go to everybody else. Then it's like, well, I guess I'm here by myself. I'm the designated driver. I'm the one that makes sure. So you have that. Guys are the same thing. You have three handsome guys and the ugly one, and everybody got these wonderful things going on, ladies, and all this other stuff, and you the ugly one. You're like, "Oh Lord, so all right, I'm gonna just sit here and I'll be by myself." All of that doesn't matter. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. You're beautiful. You're wonderful. You're everything that you want to do. So make sure you love and accept who you are. It doesn't matter. You may have the highest GPA and the greatest job and develop the greatest business on the planet Earth, and they can't do that. So see, all of these things is just a lot of times it becomes trivial, but make sure you love and accept yourself, because that in and of itself is going to be powerful. Number two is what is it? Remove limited beliefs. Remove limiting your belief. Sometimes we can do some great things or have the opportunity to do some great things, but we'll quickly remove that. We'll quickly just, "No, that ain't gonna happen." And, oh, you just have this limiting belief of limited things. There's people that are spiritual and believe in the Bible, believe in a God, believe in their creator, but yet you have limiting beliefs. That's not lining up with your creator. You have to, it's a must to remove those things. We have to. We absolutely have to. You know, to be successful and to put yourself in a place to be free, the removing of limiting yourself It has to be. This is a must. It's a must because I firmly believe life and death is in the power of what you speak, right? And I know a lot of people say life and death is in the power of your tongue, just meaning what you're speaking, what you're believing. So if you're believing I'm going to have limited success, or I'm going to have limited whatever, that's exactly what you're going to do. When you have those limited things, think about this. I heard this and I wanted to make sure I wanted to see if I could regurgitate this. I can't remember who shared this and was just in the conversation, but your body, your ears, your being don't hear the negative. Here's what I mean by that. When you talk about removing limited beliefs, right? It doesn't believe the negative. So if you say, don't think about this elephant, don't think about this elephant, don't think about this elephant, what's the first thing you did? Sort of an elephant, right? So they don't the body don't hear, don't do. They don't hear the negative side. They don't hear that side. What they hear is elephant. So now an elephant flash in your mind. Don't think about the car. Don't think about the red car. You know, all of those things like, oh, I'm not going to think about it. But yet you are putting energy there and it's now coming. So if you say to yourself that I am not going to do so and so, oh wow. Or better yet, it's like, so if you tell somebody or you ask somebody, don't sit on the couch. Don't sit on the couch while you're eating. Instead of saying don't sit on the couch while you're eating, how about saying, hey, can you sit at the table while you're eating? That's different. That's different, right? It's saying it's the same thing, but that's different. See, you never brought up the part of don't sit on the couch while you're eating. What you said was the same thing, but you only said was, hey, eat your food at the table. That's totally, totally different. That begins to help us out without bringing those things in. So now your negative, I'm sorry, not negative, but you're limiting yourself is only limiting of what you say. So now if we're careful about what we say, then that begins to change some of the energies that's put out. And now it doesn't go to the negative side. It's absolutely positive and it's absolutely beautiful. It's brilliant. It's amazing. It's outstanding. So you start looking at it from that standpoint. So remember, remove limiting beliefs. So whatever you believe it, but make sure you don't do it from a negative space. Make sure you don't say, don't sit on the couch while you're eating. Make sure you share with them, can you please sit at the table while you're eating? That's going to make a world of difference. Just those small little tweaks and what's going to come back to you in abundance. Because a lot of times we're very close. Family, we are very close. Regardless of where we are very close to that massive breakout, that massive success, the thing that you've been waiting for weeks, months, years, that one victory that we talked about a long time ago, that one victory that's putting us in a position to change the rest of our lives. You know, I had the fortune, the opportunity to speak at my brother, my friend's church on last Wednesday. And one of the things that was just, I'm just confident in this is that, you know, I feel abundance coming for those that have been faithful, those that have been in position, those that have been in order. Now, if you've been an idiot and doing crazy things, this is probably not for you, right? This is probably not for you. But for those that have been doing and putting themselves in order, in positions, standing there, you know, doing what's right because it's right. Even when people are not looking, you're still doing what's right because it's right. Putting yourself in a position to speak into others and do the things that your creator have asked you to do. Removing those limiting beliefs, you know, loving on yourself. Now you have positioned yourself to receive that, to not just be free, but also to receive abundance. And I think it was last week or whatever, I was just talking, and I'm just thinking about this, about what we are speaking, because we're so close. But we're thinking about it from most people are thinking about it from a negative connotation. But if you talk to any highly successful individual, they're some of the most powerful and positive people that you'll run across. Why? Because they understand that little secret about just little small tweaks to be just that much sharp. And now all of a sudden you're removing that limited belief. And now you're creating a space and an energy that's absolutely amazing. And then, you know, number three, create your vision. What do you want your vision to be? What do you want your life to be? Not what they your uncles and your sisters and your brothers. I get all of that. Your cousins and your relatives. I got all of that. But create your vision for what you want your life to be. Create your vision. See, even our children try to limit us to in a space because they want it to be how they want it to be. They don't understand that the parents have had a life way before they came along. So what is it for you? What's your vision? Create your own vision. Here is something I want to share this to the wonderful, beautiful ladies out there. Is this: don't put all of everything into your children, because once they turn 17, 18, and they're about to go away to college or their own life or into the military or something to that effect, and they're going away, then all of a sudden you're lost. Now you're like, what about my life? What about me? I don't understand this. I'm not quite understanding of where we are and all of those things, right? And that is fine, but now you don't even have a vision for your life, because all of these last 18 years, it's just been about this individual, right? Now, I'm not saying put your child out and don't support her or support him. No, I'm not saying that. But you can't put everything, your whole life revolves around them. You got to create some space for yourself. That way you can create your own vision. What's that gift, that talent, that business, that education system, that retreat place that you've been holding back and you're not really putting that energy and that effort into? What does that really look like? And are you looking at that and creating your own vision for yourself? Once you do that, it's going to be some incredible things. I've said this in some business presentation: take your vision and your dreams off the shelf. Take them off the shelf, dust them off, get them all nice and polished and dumped and dust it off. Get that all where it's supposed to be. Now that is all nice and off the shelf, you can begin to create some things, because it's going to also help you feel free. It's just believe me on that one. It's that important. All right. Number 4, identify what's been holding you back. Identify what has been holding you back. It could be your limited beliefs, but inside of those limited beliefs, where did it come from? So let's identify that. Now, last week, I know we talked a lot about some stuff with in the past, and where some of the ideologies that came from, and some of those thoughts. Now we have to identify why or where they came from, identify what they are. Because once you identify them, then you can begin to do things to remove them away from you. So, as an example, if deep down you really have a fear to speak in front of a room, right, in front of people, that's one of those fears that people are like, absolutely not. I am not going to speak in front of a room. And then you have somebody like me, like, put me in front of a room. I'm good. We good, right? So it depends on where you are, but when you're putting somebody in front of the room, that may be that's something that's holding them back for the last piece. Hey, paste. What is pieced? I don't know, but the last part of their business. That may be that one thing that's holding them back for that last piece of their business. Now, if you have a piece of your business and you have to speak in front of some people that's going to create some amazing results for you, well, if you're having all those things, you may want to now begin to talk to some people. You may have to talk to a counselor. Like, okay, how do I go through this? Then you talk to some experts in that field of how to speak, how to present, how to train some organizations that are out there that just talk and help people about speaking. And you're doing all of those things. You're helping them about speaking, you're helping them about speeches, and you're kind of doing those things because now we're taking the bull by the horns and we're really going after this like gangbusters because we don't want to hold and minimize where we are, but we're going to hit this hard. We're going to do some powerful things. But first, we have to identify what that is. So in our business or in our classroom, if we're afraid to speak, we may have to do some things to, put us in position, make sure that we're good. Now that we're in position, we made sure that we're good. Now, what's the next step? Okay, here's the next step. Let's do this. And then we start doing this. We knocking that out. And then the next part is we doing this. And we're knocking that out. And then we're doing this. And now you're starting to build your confidence because you identified something that just was holding you back. You was identifying that thing was holding you back. So now, as an example, now you have the confidence to go and speak. And you may even start speaking in front of a small group. You may even start and say, let me speak in front of an elementary classroom or some of the kids to begin to build your confidence. So when you hit the stage and you're talking in front of 5,000, 10,000 people, at that point, it's just part of what I have to do. It's just part of what we're doing, right? And so whatever it is, make sure we identify what that might be. And then we'll continue to make that happen in a big way. Number 5, this is something that I worked on. Stop caring about what others think. Stop caring about what others think. I mean, for me, we can stop the podcast right there and go home. Stop caring about what others think. See, sometimes even you go back to number 4, identify what's been holding you back, and then you go back in number 5, you say, stop caring about what others think. That may be something that's holding you back, caring about what others think. They are not the masters of your faith, nor the captain of your soul. You are. So if you look at it in that manner, and you realize that I have to stop worrying about what others think. I have to be number one in my life. Now that begins, let's talk to that mother, right? That put all of their eggs in a basket around their children. Now their children are going off to whether it's university, whether they're going off to the military, whether they got married, whether they're going to do some other things, right? Having their career start. We don't know, but whatever that is, now that they're off and doing that, now you're lost. You really don't know what it is. And then now you're like, oh my God, if I do this, what my kids are going to think. Oh my God, if I do this, what my uncle's going to think. Oh my God, if I do this, what my friend is going to think. Oh my God, what I'm going to do if all of that stuff. What are we doing? Some people may have adults may have an adult beverage, and they may say, well, hey, they may have some adult candy. Okay, well, that's what they're doing. But sometimes you sit there and be like, oh my God, I don't want somebody to see this. Oh my God, I don't want to see. What are they going to think if they see me this? Oh, what are they going to think to see me? Oh, now you're creating anxiety. You're creating all kind of stuff that's going around. No, relax. Stop caring about what they think. If you've done a speech, I'll give you an example. There are people that have hit me up. By the way, like, share, subscribe on the YouTube channel and all of the other platforms. But a lot of people will share this. They'll be like, "Oh, Stanley, I didn't like that podcast." Okay, great. I'm glad you didn't like it. Because we're not doing the podcast for them. We're doing the podcast for everybody. There's a lot of people hit me up about podcasts. A lot of people just send messages and hit the team up like, hey, can y'all do a podcast on this? What about this? What about that? That's all cool. And some of them we may do, some of them we may not. But we're not sitting there specifically to talk to X person and saying, we did this podcast for you. No, we're doing it for the masses. We're doing it for everybody. So, and then some people be like, I absolutely hated what you said about this. Okay, okay. I can't stop your opinion. That's your opinion. But I did not get dressed this morning to worry about your opinion. Right? And when you share that with people, then they say you're rude, you're obnoxious, you're this, you're that. It's your opinion. But don't try to put your opinions on me like I did something. No, we're not doing that. Not at all. Absolutely not. Absolutely not at all. So we have to continue to forward. So stop worrying and thinking about what other people are thinking or caring or what the other people are saying about you. We have to continue to move forward and do the things that we have to do. All right. So number six is this they did a campaign on this in the 80s when they was having this whole they was fighting as they say the war on drugs, right? They was fighting and it says just say no. That was a slogan. Just say no. Now what does that mean? I understand some of you guys have huge hearts. I mean tremendous hearts, right? And you want to help people, but sometimes you just have to say no. Shannon Sharp has a quote, and I gotta remember that quote, but it's so powerful. And I'm probably gonna butcher it, but it's something like this. Um, put a limit on how much you give because they're not going to put a limit on how much they take. That's good. Put a limit on how much you give because people are not going to put a limit on how much they take. And they're gonna take until they take and suck you dry, right? I mean literally suck you dry. So now you are there thinking you're helping, but actuality, they're sucking you dry and depleted. And now when you turn and may ask for some assistance or help from them, they're looking at you with their nose up, looking at you. I thought you were this and I thought you were better. And so sometimes we just have to say no. That's all. Sometimes we just have to say no. We just have to put ourselves to say no so we can be free from whatever activities they got going on. Sometimes they may want you to join a club or go on a girls' trip or the guys' trip. Sometimes they may want you to go to the club or they may want you to go to church with them or they may want you to go wherever. Sometimes you just have to say no. Some people may want to say, I want, hey, let me take you to lunch. Let me take you to dinner. Sometimes you just have to say no. Not trying to be rude, not trying to be mean, but you may not just be in that space. Sometimes your kids may want to ask you for money. And normally you would share it with them. But then sometimes you got to say no because you may be teaching a lesson or you may be doing different things. You may be pouring into them from a parent position to help them with life and understand that everything is not going to just be yes. So when you say just say no, that's what I mean. Just say no. That's it. There's no explanation needed. Oh, why you can't do this for me, Dad? Well, no. Well, you can give me this $100. No, I mean I can, but I choose not to. Right? You are more than welcome. Welcome. You are now of age where you can work. You can go get a job and do your own thing. You don't have to worry about me giving to you. But a lot of times we will say, "Well, I'll give it to you one more time," and it just continue to perpetuate the cycle. Now you add in stress. No, sometimes we just have to say no. You just have to say no. Just have to say no. Number seven. Number seven. What's number seven? Oh, this is a good one. Take risks. Take some risks. Right? Take some risks. Um, I can say it now. There are days when my form, as I like to say, my former life when I was a police officer, there are some days where I didn't want to go to work. I did not want to go to work. And it was like, okay, I don't want to go to work. So when you're saying I don't want to go to work, you just don't go to work. You call in sick, and that's that. But sometimes, but in the police department where I was, when you called in, they would ask, well, where are you going to be with you being sick? You're going to be at your mom's house, the hospital, the this. You're going to be sick. So where are you going to be? It doesn't matter, but where are you going to be? Whatever that space is, where are you going to be? And you would say that. But a lot of times I'll be like, yeah, I'm gonna be at my house, right? Yeah, I'm gonna be at the house. I may be in another city. I'll call the court and I'll call the court and say, oh, yeah, some of y'all have done this before. I'm not the only one. And you may say, let me think, you may say, I know I got trial today, Yana, but I don't feel well. Like I'm throwing up, and you give that old fake throw up and all of that stuff, and then the judge was like, "Oh, Stanley, up, oh, get better, get better." the judge is gonna postpone this trial. Oh, okay. Thank you, Yana. Call me next week. Make sure you're okay. Yes, yes, ma'am, or yes, sir. I'm on a flight. This is a true story. I was on a flight, and I was on a flight headed somewhere, but I had court that I didn't want to go to court. I had a flight I had already scheduled. We was on out and going to do our business. I was like, I feel horrible. I can't make it, y'all. I know, right? And once she said, "Don't worry about it," and got it. Okay, we're gonna continue it. Great. I took my vacation from then on. So sometimes you just have to take risks. Now, if she was told me, yeah, it was a she, would have told me to come back to court. Thank God she did not say it. And I got in that plane and I was off. And I'm so glad. But I took that risk, right? I took that risk. Now, also when you're taking risk, right? There are some things I've done that's pretty risky. I've had a ball. Some of them have just been absolutely crazy. But at the same time, at the end, I'm like, oh my God, thank you, God, for not letting. Listen, I'm gonna tell you a story. This was a long time ago. I mean, long time ago. I think I was in high school. I was in high school and we decided we wanted to go swimming, but we were going swimming. It was like 10 o'clock at night. Well, the park was closed. Well, the park was closed, but we couldn't drive the car, but that didn't say we couldn't walk to the spot, right? We walked. Get this. Not only did we walk, but we jumped the fence to jump in the swimming pool. We walked illegally. We jumped, got on the fence, jumped over the fence, jumped in the swimming pool, and went swimming. We swimming, having a ball, but we were young. We all day yelling and screaming, having a ball, all of that stuff. Finally, all right, we finished swimming. We jumped back over the fence. We walking out, and guess who arrived? The police. The police arrived. So I'm walking on the side of the highway, and we walking and they doing their thing, and all of a sudden they put their lights on the car and bam, I'm walking to the car and like, hey, stop. Now we on the car. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to jail. What's gonna happen? Oh my God, all I'm thinking about is listen, just keep me under the jail. Because by the time my parents get to me, it's gonna be some massive problems. And that was the last thing that I wanted anything to happen, that it was gonna be a problem. So that being said, make sure when you're taking risk that you take risk, but you do them, smartly. Don't do that. That was a little, but hey, we got there. They saw we were teenagers. We didn't get into trouble. The guy, at the park, he was like, because it was like, oh, you want to press charges? Like, oh, it's kid. They went swimming. It's like I thought it was something else going on. He was like, nah, let them go. And the officer was like, y'all don't do that again. We got that, as I call it, we got tongue whipped. And I was, yes, sir, we will not do this again. And he was like, all right, y'all go ahead, get in the car and go home. Yes, sir. And I got in the car. I did not go home, but I got in the car and left that area. I know I'm just bad. That's just bad. But remember, when you're doing it, so you take some risk so you can be free. And number 8 is be more carefree. Be silly. Man, this is something that I absolutely had a ball with my daughter. Some of you guys know I have a beautiful. I actually had 3 beautiful girls, and Gabrielle is the youngest. So Gabrielle and I, one time, I don't know, it was a holiday or something, and we had stopped into a particular city and just stayed at this hotel. Man, we stayed at this hotel. When I tell you we had a absolute ball, we had a ball. When I say I was so carefree. We were carefree. As a matter of fact, now some of y'all gonna laugh, but it's okay. Y'all can laugh. So Gabrielle now is 7. So she was like, Daddy, let's stay. Okay, we're gonna stay. We're gonna just stay at the hotel, right? So we were doing something, and then I was like, come on, I'm gonna race you. And she was like, okay. We got in the hall of the hotel. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Now, granted, this was one of those holidays. Nobody was in the hotel. I mean, it was pretty empty. right? I think they had maybe, I think the lady told me they had maybe like 10 people in the whole hotel. Yes. So we were on the floor by probably by ourselves or maybe one other person. When I tell you, me and Gabrielle got into the actual hallway and we raced. We actually got in the hallway and raced down the hall, came and turned back around and raced back. We had a most remarkable time. That's what I mean by being more carefree. Then, I knew nobody was on our floor. So I told her to go knock on the exit door. Yes, it was the exit door. Go knock on the exit door. When you knock on it, and then we're going to run back in the room. Oh my God, we had so much fun. She knocked on the door and we both running, trying to, and then guess what, guys? We missed the room. We missed our room. We had to turn back around and run back in the room. We laughed and laughed, but I'm sharing that because we were being carefree. We were truly being carefree. We were not trying to sit up there and teach algebra or something, being very studious and upright and forth. And no, we were having fun. We were being carefree. We were being a kid. All of us are kids at heart, and it was a ball. And then and that same I don't want to call it vacation, but that same trip, right? We went downstairs. The next thing you know, Gabrielle know the whole staff, from the general manager to all the way down to room services to janitors. She knew everybody. And just so happened they were having a holiday meal, right? Why the company invited Gabrielle to the they invited Gabrielle to the actual meal with the employees. So Gabrielle was there eating with the employees. I was like, y'all got to be kidding me. We had an absolute amazing time, but that goes back into being more carefree. Are you able to be carefree? I have other stories about being carefree. Yeah, I'm not gonna get into all of them. Y'all gonna know too much. I ain't telling y'all all of my carefree stuff, but just trust me. There are some things they were just absolutely carefree about, and we had an amazing time. One thing I'll say about being carefree, right? Be carefree with some people that want to be carefree with you. And what I mean by that, well, you'll have fun, good, pure, earnest, honest fun. That's it. You're not trying to do nothing crazy. Well, just pure fun. And as you're having that pure fun and doing those pure funs, that's all you want to do is make that happen from that standpoint. And then from there, we can make some amazing things happen and go from there. So I'm very excited about sharing those 8 things with you. So let me go back over them one more time. So number one is love and accept yourself. Number two is remove limited beliefs. Number three is create your own vision. Number four is identify what's been holding you back. Yes, you. What's been holding you back? Number five, stop caring about what others think. So number five is stop caring what others think. Number six is just say no. Number six is just say no. Number seven is take risk. Yes, take some risk. Even with put a little bit money on the side. If you want to play a little bit in the stock market, just put a little bit of money on the side to take some risk and maybe do something that'll give you a little bit higher yields on your money. But I'm not a financial consultant, so don't say, oh, Stanley, I'm just saying maybe that's just an option, but that's not saying that's what I want you to do. All right. And then number eight, be more carefree. Yep. Be more carefree. So when you do those things, that's 8 ways that you can live your life that make you feel more free. So 8 ways that you can feel free. I just share those with you, and we have some amazing times, some amazing things that we do. So listen, guys, I appreciate to make sure that you guys have what you need, do all the things that you have to do, and then be able to go from there. Because I want everybody to have that freedom, that depths of freedom, being able to free yourself, position yourself, do all of those powerful things. And as you're doing them, guess what? Now, all of a sudden, you're making some magical things happen in your life, and you're removing those burdens, you're removing stress, you're removing anxiety, and you're living the life you've always wanted to live. All right. So listen, don't forget to go to all of my social media platforms: LinkedIn, X, Instagram, Facebook, and of course, our YouTube channel. Go there, like, subscribe, share, Leave some comments. Talk about it. Let's have a discussion. Let's have an open discussion, a group discussion to talk about some things, and then we'll continue to go further. All right. And don't forget, if you want to donate, go to Let's Talk with StanleyDoucette.com. That's LETS. Let's Talk with StanleyDoucette.com. Go there, middle of the page, click on the donate button. All of this is going right back to the podcast. Once we finish all of those things, we'll make some stuff happen and we'll go from there. All right. So listen, I appreciate you guys so very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you from everybody that's calling from all over, or listening in, I should say, from all over the world. With that being said, peace and blessings to you guys, and I'll see you guys on the next episode of Let's Talk with Stanley Doucette. Peace, and we out. I'll see you guys on the beaches of the world. Have a great and powerful day. Good night.